Welcome back to Her Next Move. On this episode, I want to talk about building the first half of your career and designing the second. Hey, welcome back. Let's talk about what happens after the applause, because there was a moment in my career when I realized something a little uncomfortable. I had all the awards, I had all the recognition, I had the high production numbers, and I still wasn't feeling fulfilled. I wasn't unhappy, but something was just off. And I definitely wasn't ungrateful, but I still just kept pushing. And that's when I realized that proving had become a habit for me. And you don't even realize that you're doing it anymore. You win, and instead of resting and celebrating, you reset the bar. You have to go higher. You achieve something, and then instead of feeling secure in that, you're looking for the next milestone, the next win. And you're getting recognized, but instead of feeling settled, you're thinking, what's next? So what I realized is that's not ambition, that's conditioning. And the cost of conditioning isn't failure, it's your peace, your inner peace. And you can spend years proving something that no one's even asking you to prove anymore, and years proving something that you've already proved. So what's the hardest part? You don't even notice it because everyone around you is still clapping. And sometimes they clap for you, and sometimes they're clapping for what you provide. The applause is what keeps you moving, but it doesn't quiet what's inside of you. And that was the big shift for me. The applause wasn't just hollow, it was useful, but it wasn't necessarily useful for me. It was useful for the systems around me. So, what I mean by that is that the brokerage benefited, the platforms I was on benefited, the team, the market benefited. Everyone will benefit from you staying in proving mode because proving mode is productive. And productive people are valuable, right? But valuable doesn't always mean protected. And so that's a hard realization because you can be celebrated and still not feel secure. You can have all the applause they give you and still not feel settled. You can feel recognized and still be replaceable. And that's when the shift starts, or at least it did for me. Not out of bitterness, but out of awareness. And the awareness is what brought a big shift. So at some point, you have to ask, if I stop trying to prove something, who would I be? Who am I now? That question is going to change everything because when you stop proving, you don't lose your edge, you regain your clarity. And that's when the work starts to feel lighter, not smaller, just cleaner. And once you see it, you don't become cynical. Well, maybe you do for a minute, because now you're seeing things differently, but you do become intentional and you don't stop working, but you start to build with clarity. You stop chasing the applause and you start choosing alignment. You stop proving and you start positioning. And that's empowering because now you're not reacting, you're designing. And you're not trying to win every room, you're deciding which rooms matter and which rooms you want to be in. And you're not building to be seen, but you're building to be secure. And that's not smaller, that's stronger. And that's when the work finally starts to feel like it belongs to you. Thanks for listening to Her Next Move. Click subscribe to be notified when the latest episode is released. Also, check out juliejohnson.group for more resources and free downloads. And remember, your power, your potential, your next move.